Boom. Hey, guys. Real quick, when we come back, we're going to have Abdiel Velazquez, Reggie Pena, Brian Maxwell. We're going to have them on about 8 o'clock. 7:30, we're going to start it off with Mr. Worldwide, Jeff Houston. Excuse me, Mr. Live Worldwide, Jeff Houston. I made that mistake before, getting it wrong. Guys, when we come back, we're going to have Jeff Houston on. We'll be right back in about 20 seconds.
That is loud.
Boom. There he is, man. What's going on, man?
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me? No?
Nope.
No.
Can't hear you.
Come on. Hold on. Test. Check your in, Jeff. I'm good. Check your in.
Still can't hear you. Mm-mm.
Hold on, guys. Guys, can you hear me? Test. Can you hear me? People who are watching, just do it in the chat. I can read your chat.
Nope. Hold on.
All right, guys. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up or something in the chat real quick, if you don't mind. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Somebody chat it up. Let me know we're good. I think I'm good. We'll bring back Jeff. We'll make sure I'm good. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, cool. All right. Hey, guys, welcome back to the show. I just want to thank you, everybody, for joining us. Looks like we got a whole bunch of you already just to start off the show. We appreciate it so much. Jeff, can you hear me this time? Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Awesome. There we go.
Yep.
Guys, just saying thank you so much for joining us for the show. We appreciate it so much. Just want to say in the almost 2 weeks since we launched the new website, man, I can't tell you how incredible it is. Just thousands and thousands of you have already joined in and logged on and checked out the site. Checked out the Knucklepedia, man. I mean, we put so much love and time into this, and it's still building. So it's going to be ongoing. There's so much work to it. It is the only directory really solely for the sport of bare knuckle. I know there's a couple other sites that do, similar stuff, but this one is solely directed towards the bare knuckle with the events, the fighters, everything. Just so much love into it. Check out combatinsiders.com. I can't stress it enough. Like, share, and subscribe. You guys know what to do. We are dual streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So on your whatever platform you're watching on, we appreciate it. Mr. Jeff Houston, what's going on, my friend?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just kicking it here at Loudmouth Central.
I like that, man. I like that. Hey, so I hear we're only a few weeks away from some big show down in Tampa.
You know something? That seems to be the main spark around the rumor mill. That's right. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 8. Our biggest show ever at the Florida State Fairgrounds, man. It's almost kind of hard to believe how far along Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is after only 7 shows moving into our 8th. I mean, I've told you this before, 16 years behind the microphone, and I have never seen a promotion move with this much steam this early.
I tell you what, man, I'm pumped. Again, same thing too. I sound like a broken record. Me and Nick have been talking about BKFC and just the sport of bare knuckle in general for so long, man. We're so excited to see this sport. There you go, man. That's a badass shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I keep telling them with the yellow, I said, we need some red in there. We need some red in there. We need we need more blood splatter because I'm sorry.
I like that.
No, we do. We need.
I like that.
The sport needs to be shown the way that the sport is. This is the last thing I'm going to tell you. This is not a politically correct sport. This is not a sport that I want to put a PG filter on. And if anybody wants to, then you're in the wrong place, and you're going to get a swift kick in the ass if you're going to try that, because this is the one thing. It's perfect as is. It can evolve as far as the talent goes, but as far as the grand design in which David Feldman has implemented, it's perfect. It's exactly where it needs to be. Obviously, you guys were talking about what happened with Valor and such, and I'm going to tell you, David Feldman had something really good to say when he was asked about potential competition against Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and he said that he welcomed all competition so long as they do it right.
Yeah.
Because this is such a new sport. All it takes is one bad apple, and we're in that same basket with that bad apple, even though that we didn't do anything. I mean, look at how much negativity we got after World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation had their, wonderful first and only show. And how many times did we get mistaken for that?
I tell you what, man, it really is. And we got some chat. And Still Nutrition, shout out to those guys. Go to andstillnutrition.com. Use promo code Combat Insiders for 15% off. Yeah, man, I tell you what, BKFC is just, it's super hot right now. Brian Maxwell, my man, we're going to see you a little bit later on the show, too. Less than 30 minutes, so get ready for that. Viet Lee. My man Viet Lee down in Tampa. I tell you what, buddy.
Mr. Sushi Man, I'm going to tell you something, man. The ocean called Viet. They're running out of sushi.
I tell you what, my man took me to. He took us to a sushi place down there when we were for the Paulie Artem fight, and it was like a buffet kind of deal. But it was like they just keep bringing you shit. So like you have a menu, but they just keep bringing you stuff, man. And let me tell you what, we were all on our second, third plate, and we were getting worn down. Viet Lee's plates kept getting bigger.
Oh, like I know.
The more we went on, it kept getting bigger. Viet Lee's plates, the last plate he brought out, it was like, man, I tell you what, I've never seen somebody eat that much sushi in person. Viet Lee,
I'm telling you, I love Viet. I love him so much, but he's a potential lawsuit waiting to happen with all-you-can-eat restaurants.
It really does. I tell you what, I mean, shout out to him. Seriously, they're like, I love all his little videos, man. Like all the videos, all his hangouts, all the parties, little spots he goes to.
Oh, come on, man! It's the epitome of Florida beach life. I love it. I love it. It's almost like that's what we all aspire to be. And he's like, I know you aspire to be that, but I'm there right now.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Really quick, too, I see a lot of you logging on to Abdiel Velazquez, Reggie Pena, and Brian Maxwell all coming up by 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Jeff, I heard you got something cool going on this weekend as well.
Oh, man, this is beyond cool. This is one of the greatest honors of my entire career that I was asked to host the 2019 ADCC World Championships in Anaheim. I'll be heading out there tomorrow for the bracket release, for the weigh-ins and the bracket release, and then of course Saturday and Sunday. It's an amazing 2-day event. It is the Olympics of grappling. I mean, the names that are slated for this year are just incredible. I mean, honestly, if you are any kind of a jiu-jitsu fan or a jiu-jitsu mark, man, this is where it starts and finishes. It's just incredible.
What I mean, touch on that a little more, Jeff, because like you said, like it is the, in terms of jiu-jitsu, like it is the creme de la creme de la creme de la creme. Like, touch on it some more, man. Like, how big is this exactly?
Well, I mean, if you look at all the other jiu-jitsu competitions, a lot of the ADCC competitors are usually annual competitors.
Right.
They're usually competing all year round, in addition to their respective mixed martial arts career. For those who aspire to go on to have a mixed martial arts career, but it's almost like with all the competitions that are happening worldwide, it all culminates to this moment for the World Championships. And I mean, it's pretty similar as far as the division classes of other tournaments. For the men, starts off at minus 66 kilos and it goes all the way up to 99 plus.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the women for minus 60 kilo division and the plus 60 kilo division. Then they have the super fight. Sometimes they'll have multiple super fights, but this year, I'm going to be honest, they only need one with the magnitude that is behind this, which I think is probably one of the coolest super fights that they've ever had. And then, of course, there's the absolute division. And the absolute division is another big one because, that just shows an overall grappling master at work. And the names that are on, I could go down the list so much, but there's one that's really interesting because I was really looking forward to seeing Rubens Maciel. And he was, of course, the 2017 world champion. He has actually stepped aside for his son to take his place in the minus 66 kilo division, because usually the defending champion is always back. Is always back to defend that respected title in that weight class, or they choose to go up. But in this case, that's really cool that you have that much admiration and respect. And trust me, Kennedy Maciel is no pushover. That's Team Alliance, and Team Alliance is definitely the alpha team to beat, in my opinion, when it comes to the ADCC World Championship. But I think that's real cool. A couple other names that I like: Gio Martinez from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. He's another good one. Ross Nichols. And I'm going to tell you, probably one of the best grapplers in the United Kingdom. And in my opinion, I think he's the best submission-only grappler in all of Europe. Lachlan Giles, who is, God, you always look for the guys who are really going to be interested in the submissions. And this guy is literally Mr. Inside Heel Hook. I'm so looking forward to that. Lucas Lepre out of Brazil, man, another Team Alliance guy. There's just, like I said, I can go on and on. And of course, oh my goodness, I love watching Gordon Ryan. I could watch Gordon Ryan all day, man. I'm going to tell you, Renzo Gracie Academy, it just, some of these guys, it goes beyond an art form. It is just that this is just what they were born to do. And he's definitely one of those to watch. I mean, seriously, I could go on. Marcus Almeida, the 2017 99 plus Bucheca, he's going to be there. Yuri Simois, Roberto Abreu, just so many. But the one that I'm excited for the most when it comes to single competitors, oh, my girl, who I think is probably one of the greatest grapplers on the planet. And that's my girl, Gabby Garcia. Gabby Garcia, man. But she's got a tough test coming up. She got a tough test coming up this time around because she's actually got someone, I believe her name is Tyann Porfirio. And she's out of Gracie Baja. And I've been reading some news, and it's saying that she could be a threat to her repeating. But if you want to talk about Gabby, I mean, God, 2011, 13, 17 ADCC world champion at plus 60 kilos, 9-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. I mean, it just goes on and on. And I'm gonna catch a breath in a minute, but I told you how excited I am about this, so I just got to keep going. And then, of course, oh my God, the super fight. In my opinion, there have been so many other commentators, because of course I've been paying attention to the past ADCC World Championships. I definitely want to make sure, that I'm read up on this amazing event. But I'm going to tell you, this is definitely the grappling. This is definitely the grappling match of the century. Felipe Pena against probably the greatest grappler in the history of ADCC, Andre Galvao. Andre's resume, I mean, here, I have to read it because there's no way that I can memorize all this. 2011 ADCC world champion at minus 88 kilos. 2017 absolute champion. 9-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, and 2013, 15, and 17 ADCC super fight champion. Think about that, man. And the reason why I'm so excited about this is because this is the greatest rubber match in grappling history. Both competitors have 2 wins apiece, and none of them are by submission. They've all been points based. So I'm sure that they're going fishing, but it's one of those things that you wonder, what's the point? There's just so incredibly seasoned. And Felipe Pena, No pushover. 2017 absolute champion, 2015 and 17 silver medalist, 5-time BJJ world champion. He's no pushover either. But this is the best of 5 in this series, and we're just going to see, I think, just fireworks from that. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to take a breath. Whew.
I tell you what, man, I'm pumped. I mean, I was excited before, but I'm pumped up even more now just hearing you talk about it like that. I think it just brings it to a whole new light. So if somebody's not local to the area, how can they watch it?
The easiest way to watch it is going to be by flowgrappling.com. Okay. Flowgrappling.com is going to be the main provider for ADC for the ADCC. So that's always the best way. And, there are multiple camera angles. There are multiple matches going on at once. It's really the best interactive way to experience the ADCC World Championships. And the one thing that I like about it the most, and I'm going to be honest with you, is I like the rule set that comes with the ADCC World Championships. And the way that it works on qualifying matches is 1 10-minute round, and points actually don't start scoring points until halfway into the match.
Yeah.
So what happens is that they give you 5 minutes so that the athletes can fish for submissions without having points being a problem. Right. And then after 5 minutes, the referee will yell out points. And from that point, of course, points matter. And it's the same situation for the finals, which is 1 20-minute. And they'll give you 10 minutes to fish for those submissions until points start to become part of the game. And another interesting thing that a lot of other people, some of them agree with this rule, some of them don't, is that pulling guard actually incurs negative points. Pulling and sitting guard actually incur negative points. You actually get negative points if you pull or if you pull or use sitting guard. And I think the main reason for that is I think that the Sheik really wants the fights to be entertaining. They want the grappling matches to be entertaining. And unfortunately, when you're in sitting guard, I mean, there's a lot of downtime in that.
Right.
There's a lot of downtime, and pulling guard sometimes gets you in a situation to where you're kind of at a stalemate, and that's really not what they're looking for. And I can appreciate that because the Sheik and the team that has run Abu Dhabi Combat Club, they're always upgrading. They're always evolving the sport, and they're always doing something new to make these matches more competitive and more exciting. And like I said, the only thing that I think that it doesn't benefit for the pulling guard or sitting guard to be, for negative points, I think that will not benefit the ones who have the wrestling aptitudes. I think the ones that actually have a wrestling pedigree probably won't like that too much.
It just seems interesting to me. Like I didn't know that, to be honest with you. So shows my uneducation about it. But pulling guard, but I mean, like there are various techniques to pulling guard that can be successful. I mean, am I right? Because there are various techniques that you can use to pull guard to institute, certain game plans. I'm just kind of curious as to why exactly. Like I get it from the entertainment standpoint. I get that from like a viewer standpoint. You're right. Like it's not as exciting, and I guess it's no different, sort of, kind of where. MMA, sometimes if it goes in the ground, there's nothing happening. They stand it back up. I mean, is it just sheerly, like you said, it's just sheerly for entertainment purposes?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's really more for entertainment purposes than anything. But you're absolutely right. You can actually transition in pulling guard to a very competitive ground game on that. But yeah. I think what it is that I think that there was probably, maybe it was just when people pulled guard that there was just a lack of movement, that they were saying, this really isn't going anywhere.
Right.
And maybe that happens so many times that they just decided, what, maybe it's just better that if they incur negative points. Now we're not saying that that's illegal, because it's not.
Right.
But it could be the deciding factor between a win and a loss. If there's no points given and you decided to pull guard and, your opponent wins via your negative point.
Right. Interesting.
But it's going to be exciting. But it's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be going down at the Anaheim Convention Center, September 28th and 29th. 96 overall competitors. and of course we have the absolute division, which is always exciting. Absolute champion last year was Felipe Pena, who is going to be in the super fight. And I've just got nothing but amazing things to say. I mean, and I followed these grapplers all over the world. And it's also amazing. Of course, that I also represent Absolute Championship Akhmat out of Russia, which I want to give them a shout out because unfortunately I am missing a show in Moscow for the World Championship. And I am so sorry that I'm not there with my boys with ACA, but they're going to have an amazing show, ACA 99, which is going to be going down on Friday at the VTB Arena in Moscow. And it's one of their most stacked cards that they've ever had. 2 titles on the line, 14 awesome fights. My road brother, referee, world-class referee extraordinaire, in my opinion, the best referee in the world, Herb Dean, is going to be holding down the fort with there. And my boy from across the pond, Ricky Wright, is stepping in for me on this one. And I think he's just going to do a fantastic job. And hopefully he'll be able, if I'm not able to make other events with ACA, it'd be so nice to know that there's a solid professional to stand in for me. So it's just really going to be a fantastic event. For those of you who want to find out more about ACA, the pay-per-view is only $3 American. If you want to watch it, 14 fights for $3 American.
Hey man, that's a trip to Dollar Menu.
Dude, that's a deal. That's a deal right
there. Dollar Menu.
The website is ppv.aca-mma.com. I'll repeat that one more time, ppv.aca-mma.com. So check that out on Friday.
Check it out. Jeff, we touched on it earlier, and maybe, I guess it's cool to talk about it, right? I know you're technically competition, but the Valor pay-per-view, right? I watched it. I thought it wasn't a bad show. I think there were some hiccups that they had. It was their first show, and I get that. I'll be honest with you, and I guess maybe this is something you could speak to. And like I said, I won't ask you too much because I know you're, batting for the other team, so to speak. But the whole pit idea, I thought it was kind of odd because the whole thing was designed to keep fighters inside the pit, but it seemed like
that wasn't happening.
It wasn't happening because they kept circling out. They kept circling out, and it was just the ref just having to keep pulling them back in.
So that's and that was my gripe for it. Now, of course that I'm all about bare knuckle fighting championship, but that doesn't mean that I can't watch. Right. That doesn't mean I'm interested.
I know. I just don't want to. I know.
I am interested in the competition. I'm always interested to see what the competition has to play with. Of course, I'm going to be interested in the competition. Doesn't mean I'm going to jump ship. There ain't no way in hell I'm going to jump ship.
I know.
There ain't no worry about that. We've got the master plan. We've got the master plan. Why would I want to go anywhere else when the master plan is here and live and in living color? No problem there. No, I'm going to tell you, the pit looked cool, but it is not efficient for bare knuckle fighting because with those raised, with those around the pit, and you've got those angled pads right there, you're not going to be able to have the wars like Lobo for Night. Because there's no way that they're going to be able to keep the action without being broken up. Because the minute that they get on those angled pads, it gets broken up, and nobody seemed to really want to get in there. And I'm going to tell you another reason why is because they also do it boxing style. They have them go back to their regular corner instead of towing the line. Yeah. Towing the line really kind of gives you the idea that this is hopefully is going to stay in there because you're literally nose to nose, eye to eye with your opponent when you start. Yeah. And that kind of gives you the idea, and maybe it probably gives you kind of like a mental aptitude to stay more in the center rather than keep it on the outside, because when somebody would get in trouble, they would retreat over to the sides, and that's not going to keep a consistent war there. And I think that's going to be their major problem. I think that's going to be a big problem. So, but the fights themselves, they weren't bad and everything. I mean, the only thing, in my opinion, that Valor did for us is just helped us sell more tickets.
Well,
In the end, it helped us sell more tickets. There is one thing that I take a little bit of, well, I don't take issue with it, but
I
they,
think I know what you're going to say before you even say it.
all right,
You're,
all right, what you got?
are you going to refer to like them being the first championship since the John L. Sullivan days? Is
No,
that
not
where?
at all. No,
Oh,
not at
because
all.
I had a problem with that. I had a
No,
problem with
no,
them.
no, no, no.
They were,
It's just that they said that they were making history. However, the
yeah,
show was sanctioned through tribal tribal Indian athletic commission, not the
right,
state, not the
right,
state. So
right.
therefore, I'm trying to figure. Wait a minute. I thought David Feldman had already done that many years ago. So I'm trying to figure what history is being accomplished here, with the
Yeah,
exception, of course, of their new championships, the tournament, and of course that Ken Shamrock is at the helm.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, he didn't. I mean, Ken Shamrock he did a great job, and I'm not saying anything bad about it, but it was not a state sanctioned bare knuckle event.
right.
So therefore, I'm trying to
There's a
figure out.
big difference.
It,
It's a
it
big
makes
difference.
it makes a huge difference. Now, once
Yeah,
again, I'm not saying anything negative about Valor Bare Knuckle, but
right.
I know the trials and the tribulations that David Feldman went through to
Yeah,
get Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship to fruition. I
yeah,
know that he was turned down by 28 different athletic commissions before Wyoming stepped up and said yes.
right.
And I knew that would happen. Everybody knew that happened. I remember when I was there at the first bare knuckle, and I was saying to everybody, the athletic commissions are basically going to kind of sit back in the weeds and take a look at this. And if it takes off, they're going to come. They're going to come. They're going to come running. It was all based on the success of our first event. And boy, in my opinion, the most successful debut bare knuckle event of any bare knuckle organization that's ever been in the United States. By far, probably the most successful ever, in my opinion. I'd actually think that it'd probably be the most successful bare knuckle organization debut ever. I'm pretty sure
That's a fair argument. That's a fair argument.
It is a fair argument, but
Yeah,
I'm not saying that it's lacking anywhere else.
right.
And a lot of people are probably going to misconstrue my words and say, "Oh, what does he know? He's knocking our product." Let me go ahead and just end that. I'm not knocking your product.
Right.
I'm not knocking your product, but I'm pro BKF, the BKFC product.
Sure.
I am pro the BKF because what we have is right and it works. And our fan base is just growing exponentially. The need for fighters to come and fight under the BKFC banner is just incredible. I mean, we're just getting more and more. I mean, look at the names that are going to be on board for BKFC 8. I mean, the main event, Antonio Bigfoot Silva against Gabriel Gonzaga. Yeah. That's all. That's huge. That's huge for less than 10 shows in.
Well, you know what, man? If I may, go ahead.
We got Fabricio Verdum coming to the show. We got Wanderlei Silva coming to the show. And because we're in Tampa, and you also know because we're in Tampa, we're going to have a lot of WWE superstars come out and see us like they did the last time. So the interest in our show is just incredible. And we're getting legitimate boxing talent. We've got, Dat Win coming up on this next one. I'm excited to see him fight bare knuckle.
No, and I'll say this, and we'll move on from the Valor thing. And and I'm not knocking it either. I enjoyed the show. I thought Mark Godbeer really stole the show, man, and he's a stud. He really is.
I thought Mighty Mo was going to win that, honestly, because I've known Mighty Mo for so many years, and the majority of the titles that he's won, he's usually won by just earth-shattering knockouts.
Right? Yeah.
He's known for knocking people out. I mean, of course, his kickboxing, and he's a K1 legend, but. Yeah. The thing about it was, unfortunately, when you put yourself in a tournament situation, injuries more than likely can occur the first fight out, and you're going into that with a severe handicap.
Yeah.
And Mark Godbeer knew that Mighty Mo broke his nose in that first round tournament, and he targeted that nose as any good fighter would if you see any kind of a disability or a handicap on your opponent, and he did the right thing. and he ended up closing out the show. The last time I saw Mark Godbeer, he actually fought on an ACA card that I was on, and he had lost it. And I said to myself, I know this guy's bare knuckle pedigree, in the UK. It's huge pedigree. So I figured once he gets back to the bare knuckle stage, he's going to shine again like he did. And he did. He took the whole damn thing. He's the Valor heavyweight bare knuckle world champion.
Well, you know what, too? I think really it's going to be an apples and oranges thing because like some of the rule sets are different from BKFC. It's 3-minute rounds versus 2-minute rounds.
I don't like that.
You can't do the half clinch. There's
no
clinching.
No. You get broken
whatsoever.
up on that. And I think honestly, that's one of my favorite things about BKFC.
Yes,
is that the clinch is that the clinch is in dirty boxing, and the clinch is encouraged. Yeah. It's actually encouraged. That makes us so much more entertaining fight. And our rules set are perfect because 5 2-minute rounds, which is very safe for all of our competitors. Boxing in the clinch makes it so much more competitive overall.
It gives a sense of urgency too. The 2-minute rounds,
which is what David has been literally drilling into the foreheads of these fighters. He's basically saying your earning potential is in your hands, but you have to understand that this is a very different pace than any other combat sport that you've ever been a part of. And you know as well as I do, Josh, that the ones who are truly successful in bare knuckle are the ones who push the aggressive pace.
100%. And let me just pause you right there, Jeff. Let me pause you right there. Guys, I just want to let you know, thank you for tuning in, by the way. We're here with Jeff Houston. I got Reggie Pena waiting in the wings, waiting for Brian Maxwell and Abdiel Velazquez just to sign on real quick. Brian, whenever you want, man, go ahead and sign on. Like I said, we do this roundtable style here.
Come on, man, get in here.
We do things a little bit different. We do things roundtable style. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Please share the stream, like the stream. We are on YouTube and Facebook, so wherever you're watching, we appreciate it so much. Jeff, sorry to stop you. Continue.
You didn't stop shit, brother, man. It's all good, man. I'm going to tell you something. Never think that you're interrupting me because you're not. All you're doing is pausing me so that I can get much needed oxygen into my body.
There you go.
So you're not interrupting me. You can't. Yeah. No, but seriously, man, it's just incredible that statistically speaking, the ones who really push the pace are the ones who have been exceptionally successful in bare knuckle. I mean, some people think that that's kind of like I guess you could say an absence of a strategy because you're just really kind of pushing it. But if you look at the ones who have been successful in bare knuckle, fight after fight after fight, I mean, look at Johnny Bedford. Johnny Bedford has pushed the pace since moment one, and he is our bare knuckle lightweight world champion and Police Gazette American bare knuckle champion. Perfect example there. Look at Jim Allers. Jim Allers has made so
That's been his MO.
He has made so much noise in such a short amount of time with bare knuckle. I mean, he's going to be a star. Leonard Garcia pushed the pace against Julian Lane, pushed back in Mexico. But nobody expected him to run. No one expected Jim Allers to run over him. I mean, you and I both said on a previous show that we thought it was going to be very competitive. As a matter of fact.
We really did, and we were wrong. We were super wrong. And you know what? Hey, I've never been so happy to be wrong. It is what it is. You know what I mean? No,
it was beautiful. It was beautiful. A star is born. A star is born, and this one is going to be great. But I'm going to tell you, Julian is a pace pusher too. But I'm going to tell you, he is really going to have to push the pace for this one. Because
Abby, I see you, buddy. Just hang tight. We'll be getting to you in just a second. Sure. Reggie, just let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're there. I know we're almost all right. Reggie's ready. Abby's ready. Just waiting on Brian Maxwell. We're going to go ahead and switch over. Jeff, are you hanging with us?
Are you kidding? At the round table, man.
Round table discussion. Guys, we're going to take a quick short little break. And when we come back, we're going to have Abdiel Velazquez, Reggie Pena, and hopefully Brian Maxwell will be in by then, but we'll bring him in when he comes in. All right, guys. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Brad Bishop with Anstill Nutrition. And shout out to the Combat Insiders for allowing us the opportunity to introduce ourselves. We're a supplement company geared towards combat sports. We're designed with the fight in mind, so don't cut weight without us.
Boom. Welcome back to the show. Brian Maxwell's getting signed in right here. Let me go ahead and grab him in. Boom. There he is. We got everybody on. Reggie, are you with us, my man? It's like he put the phone down for a second. Abby and Brian, you guys, can you hear us? Are we all good?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you hear us?
I can hear
All
you.
right, we can hear you, man. We can hear you. We're just
Yeah.
kind of hanging on Reggie, but that's all right. Guys, welcome to the show. I got Jeff Houston with us. We got Abdiel Velazquez with us. We got Brian Maxwell with us, and we also got Reggie Pena. There he is, my man, Reggie Pena. Guys, thank you so much for coming on to the show. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. It's our absolute pleasure. We're just going to jump right into this. And guys, this is roundtable style. So, if you guys want to jump in, I'm going to be asking you individual questions, and then I'll probably ask you guys questions like for everybody. So, feel free to jump in at any time. Okay. So, Abby, you know what, man? I'm just going to start with you. We're just going to jump right into it. How important was that win over Travis back at BKFC 6? How important was it for you to get that win mentally?
It was important, I kind of set off like, if I'm really meant to be in bare knuckle. There was a lot of people doubters, a lot of people trying to see if I'm going to be the future of bare knuckle, and I had to prove myself that I could bang and stay in the pocket and everything. So that's what I did, and I got the victory against Travis, and that's what I wanted. I was 2-1, and I kind of be in the top three again, in the 135 pounder for BKFC.
I mean, just out of curiosity, not to go down the negative side of it, but I mean, what would have happened had that not worked out that way? You're saying that maybe you would have questioned yourself just being in bare knuckle in general?
Well, it's bare knuckle's a different sport. You gotta really the science to it, and you really gotta understand. Like, when I lost to Johnny Bedford, kind of didn't understand it, and I kind of went back to the gym and actually pay attention. Actually saw my videos for the past two fights against when I faced Chong West. Even that fight was a minute and 16, but it didn't really get me to the full like 5 rounds like I did with Johnny Bedford. Well, I did 4 rounds with Johnny Bedford, but kind of get me how it is with long distance, and you gotta keep going with 2 minute round. It's nothing like MMA.
100%. Brian, man, I tell you what, I kind of curious. What's your story in getting into combat sports in general, man?
Well, my story is I feel like I've been in combat sports for a long time. I've wrestled since I was 13 years old. I wrestled in middle school, wrestled in high school, and I got to wrestle at the college level also. So I just felt like mixed martial arts and all this is what I'm here to do. It's what I like to do, and it's not all I know, but it's fun to me.
100%. Would you consider yourself? I guess. I mean, to be in at this level, right? I mean, you have to have that competitive nature, right? Of course, being in wrestling and doing what you're doing now.
Yes, I'm super, super, super competitive. I used to try to compete at doing everything with my brothers and my sisters, and I don't care if it was washing the dishes or taking out the trash or something, or running up the driveway trying to race each other. If there was a way to make it a competition, it was a competition with me. Even if we were, helping my stepfather pick up hay bales, it was always a competition with me.
You know what? I actually wouldn't mind digging a little into that whole thing. I've actually found that a lot of people with siblings tend to be the more competitive. There's a lot of fighters who have siblings. I don't know if there's something into that because of those sibling rivalry kind of thing. I don't know if there's any truth to that or just completely random, but I find that kind of fascinating. Reggie, my man. So just straight up, why you had your last boxing match back in March of 2015, your last MMA bout back in August 2017. Why the comeback to combat sports?
Well, I'll tell you guys what, man, I was, I'm an MMA fighter first and foremost. Now, my boxing record is very deceptive because, half of those fights, I was in there against, world class. Like I fought Deontay Wilder, I fought Carlos Negron. I fought all these Olympians. I fought in there with guys that I was outclassed. I shouldn't have been in there with those guys. I'm an MMA fighter, you know what I'm saying? And I just did the boxing. I didn't trade for half of those matches, man. I fought Deontay Wilder. They called me on a Wednesday. I'm at the bar on a Wednesday. They say, hey, you want to fight this Saturday? Like, yeah, sure, let's go. You're fighting some tall, skinny basketball player from Alabama. I'm like, all right, how much does it pay? Let's ride. You know, and that was the story with my boxing career. I mean, my boxing career never really took off. I didn't train to box. You know, I'm a wrestler with good hands, you know, and then I started taking it a little more serious. I started taking it seriously and started, pursuing, trying to get better at the boxing. And damn, regulators got some hands now, you know. So to answer your question, I've won 7 of my last 9 MMA bouts, and I beat some top guys in the UFC. I beat some top Bellator guys like John Soldier. And then I just kept getting overlooked, man. And then I just got to a point in my life, man, I'm getting older. I got a family, and I was like, man, I've gave so much to the sport. I've sacrificed my education, my time with my family. I gave so much, and I was at that crossroads where I'm like, you know what? It's time to like really focus on life and being a better me so I can provide for my family, because I'm chasing this dream and I didn't see it coming down. I'm 36 years old, and I went to broadcasting school and I started doing the media stuff, and I called some fights, did some color commentary stuff, and I got the opportunity to attend the last bare knuckle fighting championships that was in Tampa. And wow, that was a game changer. It just opened up a whole new world. I had chills, watching the BKFC and just the action, the intensity, the nonstop, the pace. I was at Media Row and I said, I need to do this shit, man. Like, I need to be in there, so I just saw an opportunity and I was like, damn. And the powers that be aligned, and Feldman gave me an opportunity, and I'm here, man. I'm here, and I'm here to regulate the shit out of BKFC, man.
I love that. Hey,
all right,
Josh, I got to jump in real quick.
Go ahead, man.
I got something for all of y'all, but I want to start off with the regulator over there, man. I know this ain't no geek off the street. You're gonna be handy with the steel, no problem there. But Reggie, what I got for you, man, is obviously, you are a huge fan of BKFC, and that is first and foremost always appreciated. But the one thing that I want to ask, with your boxing and your MMA background, how do you think you're going to fare up keeping things in the center of the squared circle? And how do you think it's going to be pushing that aggressive pace? I mean, obviously you're known for pushing that pace against amazing athletes. But as you know, this is a completely different skill set. And with that aggressive pace, which has been known to work and be successful for, our bare knuckle fighters, how do you feel about that? How do you feel that that's going to translate into your game?
I feel that this sport was fucking made for the regulator. How about that? Because it's right up my alley. This is my style. I'm in your face. I'm aggressive. Anyone who's ever bought a ticket to see the regulator, they know that's I got, I come forward and that's my style. Now, given the fact that I've competed in both sports, I'm the hybrid, man. I've done it all. So I'm ready. I couldn't be more prepared for this fight.
How do you love that, Josh?
I love it, man. I love it.
That's beautiful.
I'd like to segue into this question, and Reggie was already kind of touching on it, and I guess what, Jeff, since I'll kind of just start off with you, and I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this, but everybody here has had involvement in boxing, MMA, combat sports before they came to bare knuckle in one form or fashion. Why bare knuckle? Why did you guys get involved in bare knuckle? And Jeff, I'll let you take the helm on that one.
Never give me the helm. I don't want to talk over these guys. That's all I fucking do. God. All right. I'll keep it short.
Keep it short, Jeff. Keep it short.
I'll keep it short. I'm going to tell you the pace, the aggressiveness, and the purity. It is the absolute purest form of combat sports on the planet, man. It's just letting you stand and bang and giving the audience what they want. The true jiu-jitsu fans definitely appreciate MMA when it comes to the ground, but not everybody is seasoned as an MMA fan when it comes to jiu-jitsu, so they don't really see the scientifics in it, and they can mistake that for a boring fight, which happens all the time, unfortunately.
Sure.
You got to give the fans what they want. The fans want to see stand and bang session, take no fucking prisoners in the center of that goddamn ring, and that right there is that's the bread and butter of what BKFC is all about. And the best part about it all is that it's also been proven to be a safer option for our world-class athletes. Little nicks and cuts we can get over and such, but the way that it's tailored for two things. Number one, for the fight to be safer so that our athletes have more time with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And number two, to make them more entertaining. 5 2-minute rounds, man. Get to the point, get the knockout, get out of there, have a beer, enjoy the after party. That's what it's all about.
That's right.
Boom.
Yeah.
Abby, what say you, my man? Why bare knuckle?
Yes, like I didn't even thought about being in bare knuckle, but when Coach Via got me into told me about it and everything, it's just different. It's different from MMA. It's different. It's a different sport, and I wanted to be a part of it, be part of the history of it. It's different. I love it. You can go on the toe of the line, you bang it out, and use his fists. Nothing else. There's no gloves. There's no MMA. It's just straight up fist, and I love it because I like to challenge myself. I like to see where I'm at. I like to face people that are better than me. I like the competition, and I feel like bare knuckle is there for me. It's meant for me. I got the hands for it. I got stand up. People telling me I got stand up for it, and and they can't keep up with me. And I feel like this new sport, I can if I take advantage of it and keep doing what I'm doing and win. I'll be successful within this bare knuckle, and I want bare knuckle to be successful. I think that David Feldman for taking me in too. He's pretty much bringing the sport, out there and getting people, out of nowhere coming in like Bigfoot Silva, everybody else. So I love to be here and I like to bang. That's what I like.
Brian, I'm gonna change it up just a little bit for you because you had already kind of touched on jumping in the sport. I'm gonna twist it up. So in terms of like preparation and fight camp specifically, other than the obvious, right? What makes it different in terms of preparation in comparison to other combat sports?
Well, preparation is for me. I'm a heavy kicker. I like to kick and I like to take it down. So that is a big transition for me. But so far, it's come along just great. I've been boxing a whole lot, scoring a whole lot. So I've not forgotten the third kicks and stuff, but it's it's so much better boxing and moving around. But overall, like I tell everyone else, when I got to corner a friend of mine, Bruce Abramsky at BKFC2, that it really sparked my interest of being there, being in this corner, and it definitely made me excited about joining the BKFC team.
Awesome, brother. Reggie, obviously this is your first foray into bare knuckle, man, but like I said, you've done the traditional boxing, you've done the MMA. I mean, what do you think is going to be your biggest, I use the word challenges loosely because you're experienced in combat sports, but what do you foresee the biggest changes in your preparation for bare knuckle?
I don't see any changes at all. I mean, I've been fighting bare knuckles since I was 11 years old, man. I mean, no, man. It's just another day in the office. I mean, I'm prepared. I feel comfortable in a clinch. Feel comfortable standing. I mean, this is just it for me. This is just a platform. This is an opportunity to show the fans who haven't had a chance to see me perform, on some of the regional shows, and I've never got that big opportunity, and I've been blessed with this opportunity, and I'm going to take advantage of it and show the world, the skills that I possess.
Awesome, brother. Abby, your opponent, man, Mr. Herrera, Word on the street was you guys are supposed to fight in MMA years ago. Do me a favor, maybe touch on that and talk about how much does this fight mean to you? Because you guys obviously have some sort of history because you're supposed to fight.
Yeah, honestly, I wanted to fight Gene Hera when RFC was on Tampa, and I was already getting to the pros. My first fight, second fight, I was already getting in it, and I wanted to face Gene. He was a champion 125 and 35, and I wanted to get shot with the belt. I wanted to test myself. I wanted to face the best, and and it never happened. But I did keep my eye on him. I kept following him, and I wanted to face him, but he went to the UFC. And from there, I was like, all right, I can't really, get to him, until I, work my way up there. So I tried to work my way up, and from there, he got knocked out. Got dropped from the UFC, and from there, I had my advantage, and just patiently been waiting, and when David Feldman, when I won against Travis, and trying to see who was my next opponent, I called out Gene, and I saw Gene that won that tryout. It's funny because there's nobody on that tryout except Lonzo Hahn. There was nobody in that trial because it was just easy for him to get that. So, Gene, I honestly, I don't think Gene is meant for this. He's not meant for bare knuckle. I don't see him.
I think you said it right the first time, Abby. There was nobody in that tryout besides.
Yeah, exactly. So so people just got the contract as their name, and I understand. People want to get them big, but when you're in bare knuckle, you're gonna see how it is in the ring and see if you actually take a hit. I could take a hit. I'm already in 3 bare knuckle fights, and I'm doing great. I don't think this guy's gonna last.
Well, you know what? Speak to that a little bit, man, because like you said, you're 2-1. You've had 3 bare knuckle fights already. Your only loss is to the current champion, Johnny Bedford. Do you think a win over Gene puts you right back into that mix? I mean, is that in your eyes? Are you thinking that when I beat Gene, if I beat Gene, does this get you to that title shot?
I'm already in the mix. I just got to prove myself again. I got to get that win again and beat Gene, and that's no problem. I know I'm gonna beat him, and I got the experience. I got more MMA fights than him. I got I'm always training nonstop. I'm not gonna give up. And like this, and like I said, he got no hand. He got no hands. I punch harder. I'm way faster and quicker than him, and he got nothing on me. So I know this is gonna be easy win. If it's gonna be a decision or not, I'm just gonna win that fight. I'm gonna be the best in Tampa, and it's pretty much it's kind of also trying to see who's number 1 in Tampa in lightweight. Cause I'm a 130. I fight 125 and 38. He does the same. It's kind of want to see who's the best in Tampa, and that's what I want. And I know it's gonna be a good show. I know people is gonna be out there in Tampa, mostly Tampa crowds, so it's gonna be a good show. And like I said, I'm gonna get that win.
Any specific call out for the fight? Specific prediction?
Prediction. I can see it, ending 2nd, 3rd round max. He's not going to keep up with what I do.
All right. Fair enough.
Love it.
Mr. Maxwell, you're fighting Mr. Jared Warren. Obviously, both you guys new to the bare knuckle game. How do you see this fight going?
I see any fight going, me coming out on top. I train actively, I fight actively. I've put in a bunch of work, and I'm just ready for the fight. I'm very, very, very excited. I just can't wait to be there, ready to show the world what I can do.
Well, 100%, man. Well, like you said, both you guys come from an MMA background, so it kind of puts you on a, in terms of your background coming into this, and both of you were 0-0 with bare knuckle. It kind of puts you on a even keel, I guess, even playing field. What kind of statement are you trying to make, man? Well, this is your time to, time to shine, man. What's your statement you're trying to make on this?
I'm trying to make a big statement. I went to tryouts in Philly, and I had fun, and I got in talks with David Feldman and Nate Shook and all those guys, and I'm here to prove why they chose me and why I'm here, and I'm just ready to show them why they picked me and what I can do, show them my skills.
Awesome, my man.
Josh, I got to throw in for something because I got something from my man, Brian Maxwell. Dude, I'm going to tell you something, man. You have got great cachet on your last name for bare knuckle. You could say, something? This is the Maxwell House brand that will put you to
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, the original brand's supposed to keep your ass awake, but this Maxwell House brand will put your ass to sleep.
Man, I got enough of that in high school and middle school with wrestling. Oh God.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Reggie, man. So we saw the altercation, man. With what's the beef with you and Hunt, man?
Bro, the beef with Hunt is that he's a nobody. The beef with Hunt is that he's 3-5 in MMA and he's irrelevant, and he's trying to make himself relevant by calling me out and trying to make a name off of me. He knows that I have a little name out here in Florida on the Florida fight scene, and people who are aware of my style and what I bring. And I'm one of the I'm a respected fighter, in this game, and no one knows who the fuck Lorenzo Hunt is. I'm sorry, but so he's trying to he's just trying to he's just trying to ride the wave. He's trying to use me to get us a little 15 minutes of fame. But
what was there animosity before this, or did you guys just kind of meet up and just I don't know, something was just off?
I had no problem with the guy. I didn't know who the hell he was. Now looking back, I saw him. The first I've heard of him was seeing the tryout video or seeing someone post something about the tryouts. Then when I was doing media at the Bare Knuckle, and I had seen him walking around, just I didn't think much of it then, but like now looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the guy. But I didn't even know who the hell this guy is. I guess he got word that maybe they were trying to match us up, and maybe from his inexperience in fighting professionally, I don't understand. But he's like he put some posts out. I don't know I don't know why they're trying to make a big secret about me fighting Reggie the Refrigerator Pena. So, he started trying to clown me, but it wasn't a secret, bro. It's the fight game. There's nothing's official until you get a contract or until you get word. How many people have been potentially supposed to fight? I mean, nothing's official, until you get the word from the president or the organization or you get a phone call. But there's nothing set that I didn't even know who I was fighting for sure, I mean, so, he thought it was some big ass conspiracy and shit. But hey, whatever it is, whatever it was, I'm glad that he went the route of trying to make it personal and trying to attack me, because it just set a fire under my ass, and I'm motivated and I'm ready to rock. So let's go.
Well, how does the fight go down, man? What's your prediction?
What's the prediction? What do you think? I'm coming to regulate his ass, man. I'm coming to regulate BKFC. I'm kidding. I'm gonna show everybody, that UFC is not the only ones with some bad motherfuckers. BKFC is coming, and my name's gonna be on that list.
No, that's
all
right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right.
Guys, we're going to take a quick little 30-minute break. When we come back, I'm going to get all
30 minutes? What the hell's wrong with you?
I'm sorry, 30.
Jesus. I'm sleeping.
Lord.
Yeah, we're going to take a little quick nap, all right? Take a quick 30-second break. I'm going to get these guys' opinions on the main and the co-main event of the show. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. That was a nice little nap, but that 30 seconds goes by quick. I think I say that every single time.
You do.
That 30 seconds feels like 2 seconds. Guys, I'm just going to kind of open up the floor for this one. Whatever your thoughts are, just let them flow. Of course, the co-main and main event coming up. Let's just go over the co-main first. Jim Eller's Julian Lane. And this is opening up to everybody. What are your thoughts? Who takes it? Anybody?
I'll take it. Whatever. Jim Ayler. I got the co-main event. I got Jim Ayler. He's coming strong. He's already 2-0. And he's a new upcoming fighter. He's a new breed, and then like you said, he's coming out there, and I support. I'm all 100% on him winning against I don't know his name, this other cat,
Julian
but
Lane.
Julian
Yep.
Lane, yeah, exactly. So he was it Jim Miller trying to get his shot, and he's coming up. He's gonna get his shot. He's gonna get that bell. He's gonna face Arlo Lobov, and it's gonna be a good fight. And against Bigfoot Silva versus Sohenja Gonzaga, my fault.
Gonzaga, yeah.
Gonzaga. I got Bigfoot Silva because his hands are massive. I'll be scared to get punched by him. So, with those big ass hands of his. So, other than that, I can see that fight going to be good. It's going to be two big guys going banging it out, but I got Bigfoot Silva at the end.
All right, fair enough. Reggie, what say you, my man? The co-main event and main event. Who you got?
Man, I was Jim Ehlers, man. He's been on a hell of a tear.
Yeah.
He shocked the shit out of me, man, when I saw what he did to Garcia. I didn't see that fight going that way. I thought he would win the fight, but I thought it was going to be a much closer fight. So, part of me, let me bang, bro. He's fine. Julian Lane's coming out there doing his thing. But, man, I just think Jim Ehlers is I feel he's going to be a little too much for him. So, and then for the
Brian,
main event,
who you got? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Reggie.
Yeah, main event. I think that was close. Gonzaga's a big dude, man. So
yeah.
That can go either way. I got that one split.
Fair enough, Brian.
Well, I'm going with Jim. He's very exciting, and he's like, man, he's got some fast ass hands, man. So I definitely got to go with him on the main event, co-main. But Bigfoot Silva, that's one of my favorite fighters, so I got to rock with him on the main event.
Okay, all right.
But at the same point in time, that fight, the main event can go either way because both of those guys are huge guys. They got heavy fists, and but I'm still going to think Silva gets the edge. I think it's going to be a 4th round knockout.
Ooh, all right. Mr. Live Worldwide.
Oh, man. The round table consensus this far has been Jim Ehlers. Based on his performance over the last 2 fights and the pressure that he puts on, I'd like to say that Jim would be the favorite. But something? I'm not counting Julian out because I think Julian probably learned a lot against his when he was knocked out against Leonard Garcia.
Yep.
And he also knows that Jim's coming to push the pace like he always does. So hopefully Julian does his homework on that and is ready for that quick onslaught that we're all predicting will happen. So Jim, if we're going on momentum, I definitely have to say Jim. But Julian's not somebody to push over. So I'm going to tell you, it's a tough one for me. But statistically speaking, I'd probably say Jim on that. And in the main event, God, this redefines the term big hands. Jesus Christ. If you've ever met Antonio Silva before, you shake his hand, he shakes your wrist. It's crazy, man. Seriously, the guy, his head looks like one of those statues on Easter Island. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. The guy's a big dude. Gabriel Gonzaga,
big dude.
But it's not one of those that I want to see go 5 rounds. I do not want to see that fight go 5 rounds. I want to see it go 2, maybe 3 rounds max. Because
Agreed.
in those situations, we're not going to always get the 5-round heavyweight extravaganza that we did at BKFC 1. We're not always going to get that, and we may not always. So in this situation, for their first outing, hey, if they're willing to go to war and give us a 5-round war, more power to them. But in that situation, I'd like to see that get out of there between round number 2 and round number 3. And I don't know. The momentum is good on both of their ends. They're both real hungry for this opportunity. So I'm going to tell you, both the co-main and the main, the toss-up for me.
I just don't see how Gonzaga can avoid breaking his hands on that big dome of Silva.
Hey, Cain Velasquez. Hey, if Cain Velasquez can do it, somebody else can.
Yeah. I'm saying he might break his hands on that big head.
Oh, he will. Oh, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that.
That's true. That's true. Looks like recent heavyweight champ himself, Chase Sherman. What's going on here, my man? We're
Shit.
just doing a roundtable. We got Abdiel Velazquez, Brian Maxwell, Reggie Pena. It's going to be a hell of a show, man. I tell you what, I'll give my quick thoughts. I don't know if I want to make predictions on this. I tell you what, my thoughts on Jim Ellers and Julian Lane. I think it's fairly simple. We all know what Jim Ellers is going to do. It's going to be no surprise. I don't think it's going to be a secret. He's going to go in. It's going to be hard and fast. He's going to try to take his head off. The determining factor is, can Julian Lane withstand the storm? And if he can, we haven't seen Jim Ellers put in any kind of adversity. Can he, if he's put in any kind of adversity, can he take it? I think that's really it really sums it up that simply. It really does. Can he get the fast knockout, or can he withstand the adversity if Julian Lane can withstand the early onslaught? So, it's tough. I really don't even want to call it. I really don't. Bigfoot and Gonzaga. I'm in agreement with you, Jeff. I don't want to see it go 5 rounds. I'd love to see a second round KO or first round KO or something quick, something exciting. Those guys are 2 vets, so they know how to get the job done. It's just a different ball game. Those 2-minute rounds, they're going to go by like that for them. They're used to those 5-minute rounds. So it's just an entirely different ball game. It'll be interesting.
You're absolutely right. But something, you can't, I may have said something funny against Antonio Silva that got a chuckle around the round table, but I tell everybody, don't take that as disrespect. I have nothing but the utmost respect for both of these. Are 2 world-class athletes that were former UFC world heavyweight title contenders.
Yeah.
So I take nothing away from their skill set.
100%.
It's just that this is a different skill set, and we're going to see who's bare knuckle, born, and who really, cut the teeth in MMA and just maybe wasn't made for bare knuckle. And that's another thing that I love about this sport, is that it reveals talent. It doesn't necessarily show it. It reveals it, because it's such a new concept. And it's not a new concept. That's the thing. I keep saying new concept. It's a new concept on a live pay-per-view basis. Absolutely. It's not a new concept. I mean, shit, the UK, the Brits have been kicking each other's asses with bare knuckles before, time was time. So therefore, it's been around for a long time. But now that it's on a worldwide live pay-per-view availability, it's a new show, and it just reveals talent amongst amazing athletes, like the athletes that we have right here on our round table. It's revealed talent, dude. Abby, it's totally revealed talent in you, man. It's revealed who you are as a fighter. Reggie, man, with a nickname like Regulator and what you've done in the past, dude, I'm serious, man. You got a red carpet right in front of you, man. And Brian, shit, man, I got nothing but Doritos to talk about, guys, man. Everybody's going to have a good time come October 19th.
Well, I mean, what have we talked about over and over, man? I swear after every show we said the same thing, is that, right now bare knuckle is a small pond, right? Because, boxing and MMA are oversaturated. It's just the perfect time for someone to jump in and really take the bull by the horns, because there really isn't that big, super established star yet in bare knuckle, right? So it's like it's open season, man. Like, you guys take the bull by the horns. It's a small pond. It's a lot easier, to really get in the upper echelon of this than it is for MMA and boxing. It's just so oversaturated over there.
And you're a world champion on top of that. It's like what happened with Beck Rawlings. Yeah. Beck Rawlings was in the process of making herself a star, but she felt that greener pastures lay in MMA. So she jumped ship. And I'm going to tell you that's going to be a massive mistake on her behalf, because
Bad move.
I don't think she has. I'm going to tell you something. I have nothing, the utmost respect for any fighter that steps in, no matter what they're doing. But if you're going to jump ship on something this brand new, when somebody's attempting to make you a star, literally make you a star in this, and you're doing enough to keep that up, keep that appearance up, and you jump ship to go fight on Bellator, she's not going to win any world title over there. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I just think that's a bad. I think that's a bad overall business decision, because Dave was all about making her the face of bare knuckle, and she had a good look for bare knuckle. She had a great look for bare knuckle in the women's division. She was the first ever women's Police Gazette Diamond World Champion, the first, and she jumped ship before we even got to BKFC 7. Before we got to BKFC 6.
Yeah. I was about to say, she was gone before 6.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
100%.
Right up in Mexico.
Guys, we're gonna do. Go ahead. Go ahead.
At all this is, the way I look at it is right now we have an opportunity, right? All of us, as all of us young fighters coming into this thing, we're on BKFC 8, okay?
Thanks.
And now you look at the UFC business model and look at the first UFCs. All those guys are legends now. You talk about the Chemos and the Ken Shamrocks and Hoist Gracies. That's why I want to. I want to be a pioneer in this. Like when people look back, BKFC 8. When we're down to BKFC, 100, they're going to talk about, hey, you see the regulator beat the shit out of Lorenzo Hunt, BKFC 8. It's gonna go down as one of those classics. All these guys coming in now, we're at the forefront of all of this, and that I'm just excited, and I'm excited, as you can tell, to be a part of it.
Future legends right here, man. This is a round table of future legends. It's an opportunity. Trust me, every day I'm thankful for this opportunity to be on the ground floor of something this incredibly special. And I hope you guys understand. I mean, this is 8 shows in for me. And, 16 years I've been behind the mic. I'm sitting on my biscuit, never having to risk it. That's the way that it is. I wasn't an athlete in school, but I was a loudmouth. So that's why I'm on the mic, and you guys are out there taking the real chances. But you have an opportunity to really be legends at the forefront of something that's not only special, but at the beginning, it was met with so much criticism, which is the same way that the UFC was when it first started off. And look what ended up happening. It's a household name right there. We're going to be in that same direction. As long as the business model stays the way it is, we really encourage and push the fighters to be those next superstars, those next legends. Dude, sky's the limit with BKFC.
Absolutely. Guys, and we're going to wrap it up there. Jeff, I couldn't have said it better myself. Abdiel Velazquez, Reggie Pena, Brian Maxwell, we appreciate it so much. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for making the time for us. And good luck. Absolutely. Good luck in your respective fights. And we appreciate it so much. Guys, please follow these guys on social media. Go check them out. Give us a follow, like, subscribe, share the video. You know what to do. Sound like a broken record. We appreciate it. For Abdiel Velazquez, Reggie Pena, Brian Maxwell, Mr. Live Worldwide, I am Joshua Furs, and you're watching Combat Insiders, and we are out.
Later.
Peace, guys. See ya.